Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the English class for secondary for the Board of Open Schooling and Skill Education, Sikkim. Sorry for this little bit of delay today in starting the class because we had a power outage here. It just got restored. Anyhow, so we were doing kinds of letters, and we'd already finished with the formal ones. Let's take a look at the informal ones now. We'll also do a quick recap of the formal ones first. Just a moment, please. All right. Okay, so there are basically two types of letters, the formal ones and the informal ones. And in addition, there are also these like business letters. They'll also fall under the category of the formal ones. And all of these letters, you need to follow the format, and please make sure that the tone of the letter is appropriate to the prompt, because a lot of times when we are supposed to write, I've seen students writing a formal letter, like for example, they have to write a complaint about something to someone, and but the tone is very friendly. So that please make sure that that doesn't happen. Okay, so in the format for the formal letters, your name and address will be on the top left side, top left corner, the sender's address, and you have these few options of the way that you can write the date. It could be 10 November, comma, the year, or it could be November 10 and the year, comma, the year, or 10th November, comma, the year. So it's up to you. Normally, Americans write the month first, and then they write the date. And also, please keep in mind the preferred pronouns. Sometimes people do mention in their correspondence that this is their preferred pronoun to use. Okay, so the name and designation of the addressee is written on the left margin, 2 lines below the line or below the line where you write the date. And then you write the subject, and then the greeting. Greeting again depends on whether we're writing a formal or an informal letter. You could use dear, or dear madam, or dear ma'am, or sir, or respected sir, or. Then the body or the content of the letter, this of course is, as the rest of the letter, strictly according to the prompt. And the complimentary clause, like the formal letters, normally if yours faithfully, sincerely. And for informal letters, you could also use words like lovingly yours and like that. And please make sure that you do not put an apostrophe in yours. There is no apostrophe in yours. This is a very common mistake that one comes across. Okay. So what are the tips to write a good letter? Arrange the ideas and facts in a logical and well-linked order. avoid cliches, be precise and direct, ensure correct spelling, and make sure that the letter conveys the intended meaning clearly and the tone of the letter suits the particular type of the letter. So basically, you just paying attention and that you know, your letter has to be coherent and cohesive. So we had gone through some of the examples for the formal letters. Now let's take a look at the informal ones. All right. So the informal letters, these letters are written to friends and relatives and these acquaintances. In these letters, the format remains more or less the same as in formal letters, only the subject or reference is not included. In formal letters, also, when you write the subject, it's a very short one. The greeting, of course, is informal, and it can be dear dad, dear mom, or mother, or bro, or hi, dear sis, like that. An informal letter consists of 7 key elements, which are mentioned below. These are the same. The difference being that there is no subject here. The address, the personal one, the date, the greeting, the beginning, main content, ending, and the signatures. So now, informal letters can cover a wide range of subjects. Here are a few of them. Inviting a friend to an event such as a birthday celebration. It could be a graduation party. It could be, you could write a letter to invite someone to come, spend some time with you, or to spend their spring break with you, anything like that. Contacting a friend to go on a trip, expressing regret, or from someone for some goof up, some error that you made, congratulating a friend on a job well done, or it could be any other accomplishment too. And yet, a lot of times they're just to check on the other person. And again, then it could be inviting someone to attend some function, or some celebration, to join in some celebration at home. Okay. So let's look at the first example. Write a letter to your father requesting him to allow you to go on a tour to North India during the vacation. So then this is your address here, the date, and you write you can write dear father, dear dad, my dear dad. This is entirely up to you. Okay, this says, I was very glad to receive your letter yesterday. I'm well here and hope that you are all well there too. I'm preparing for my annual examination and I hope to secure good marks. Our school has arranged a trip to North India during the summer vacation. I wish to join the tour. I've not seen any place in North India. Some of my dear friends have already got their names registered. We will visit Delhi, Agra, Mathura, and many other places of historical importance. Our history teacher will accompany us. Kindly allow me to join the tour. I have to pay a deposit of rupees 1,000 within a week and the remaining amount of rupees 600 in a fortnight. Please send me the money for the tour. Convey my regards to mother and love to dear Vijay. With regards, your loving son. So first of all, this is interesting that before you ask your dad for permission to go on a tour, you first tell him that I'm preparing well for my exams and I hope to do well. that starts it on a good note. Okay, so also be careful that a lot of times when you get the prompt in your examination, you are given a name there and an address. So when you are given a name and an address, make sure that you write that and not yours. Okay. Now, write a letter to your, this is another example. Write a letter to your mummy telling her about the accident you met with, but you were saved. Okay. This is also interesting that you are saved. That's how you're writing the letter. But what it's implying is, this jokes aside, what is being implied is that you were saved from any major harm. So the address, the date, and my dear mummy, how is it that I have not received any letter from you for a fortnight? I hope you're all well there. Please do write to me soon. I'm worried about you here. Yesterday proved to be a day of ill omen for me. I was late for school, so I was going a bit fast on my cycle. As ill luck would have it, a scooterist dashed against me and I fell, but I had no serious injury. I have some scratches on my legs. So, normally the words that one would use here is bruises. I could go to a dispensary nearby and the doctor gave me an injection. So I'm sure it's an anti-tetanus implied here, and applied some medicine on the scratches. I'm well now. I was saved by the grace of God. Please don't worry about me at all. I shall go to school tomorrow. Okay, I'll wait for your kind words. Give my love to Munu, your loving son. Okay, now there's another example. Write a letter to your uncle, thanking him for the birthday gift sent by him. 15, this is the address, 15 Girikunj, Jawahar Chowk, Mani Nagar, Ahmedabad, and the zip code, the date, and my dear uncle. Many thanks for the precious watch which you sent to me as my birthday gift. I like the watch very much. It will be my proud possession. I was in urgent need of a wristwatch as I have to go to school and classes regularly. Lucky parents, children attending classes in school regularly, unlike most of you here who are not attending these classes regularly. Um, the Sorry, the watch will help me a great deal in being punctual. We missed you very much on that day, on the birthday celebration, I'm presuming. It would have been a great joy to have you and Auntie with us on that day, but I'm glad that your blessings are always with me. Convey my best regards to dear Auntie and Parminder. I thank you once again, your loving nephew, XYZ. Example, another one. Write a letter to your younger brother who's a bookworm and neglects his health. Sorry about uh, this. The connection just snapped for I don't know why. So let's anyhow. We were looking um, at informal letters. This will take a while to load now. So if you can just bear with me, please. All right, there it is. Okay, so we were looking at this. So this example, write a letter to your younger brother who's a bookworm and neglects his health. So the address again, the date, and my dear Rakesh, I was really happy when I received your letter and came to know that you stood first in your second semester. Accept my congratulations on your success, but I was worried to know that you've not been well for a while. It's no doubt good to study hard, but not at the cost of your health. You should not neglect your health. You should remember that health is wealth, and you should give equal importance to study and sports. Sports and games will keep you fit. Going for a walk in the morning or doing exercising regularly will help you maintain your health. Do not forget that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. I hope to hear from you soon. Convey my regards to Daddy and Mummy. Okay. Then there is this letter of condolence. Um, my dear Saran, the format, of course, it's the same. I received a letter from our friend Arvin telling me that your dear mother passed away suddenly. It was a great shock to me. I stayed with you for some days during the last vacation. She treated me with motherly affection. How can I forget that? I still remember her loving face and tender care. I know that words are poor means of expressing our feelings. I'm sure God Almighty will give you and your family strength to bear this loss. Please convey my heartfelt condolences to Uncle and Priya. Okay, then there is another example of a letter to a friend making an appeal to avoid firecrackers and have a safe Diwali free of sound and air pollution. Dear Basu, happy to learn from your letter that this time you have invited your cousins to celebrate Diwali at your place. It would be a memorable time together. I wish you a very happy Diwali, but I would also like to draw your attention to a very serious matter. Generally, most of the firecrackers available in the market emit a lot of smoke and are unsafe. They're substandard as far as the quality is concerned. They may burst or catch fire anytime and can cause great harm. You know it very well that how harmful it is to light firecrackers. They cause a lot of air and sound pollution. The sulfur emitted from it is poisonous. We breathe this air and our lungs get damaged. The terrible sound with more than 100 decibels can sometimes cause permanent deafness. I would strongly appeal to you not to burst firecrackers this Diwali. There are many other ways of celebration. I hope you will get my point and have a safe and pleasant Diwali. Okay. Finally, let's look at the difference between formal and informal letter. Formal letters take an emotional, casual, affectionate, loving tone. Formal letters have a very set structure and they're to the point. Tone of an informal letter is friendly. The formal, of course, is not. Formal letters don't have extraneous fillers. They are focused and concise, very to the point. Informal letters can also be written by hand, but official letters are typically typed. Now, of course, most of them are. Earlier, you could write, even now, you can write a formal letter by hand. It's not like you cannot. Okay, and in formal letters, you do not use colloquial language, and uh, the words used are formal. And also another thing is that the informal letters are, and you would of course have a word limit in the letter that you're writing, but normally a formal letter would be much shorter because it's very to the point, and an informal letter can can go on and on at times. But in your exam, you would only write according to the word limit that's given to you. Okay, now let's look at the circulars. The only difference is that circular is not placed at a notice board or some public portal. It can be written in a register or file and circulated among all concerned. It is to make sure that it is brought to the notice of every member. So let's look at this circular for Independence Day celebrations. So this is the circular number and the date. Now, see how it goes. It is for the information of all the staff members of our college that Independence Day will be celebrated in college premises tomorrow at blank this time. The principal will preside over the function. It will be followed by words of wisdom by invited guests and cultural program by the students. Tea and snacks will be served after that. Everyone is requested to be present. Then the name, the designation, and the office of the principal. Circular regarding office timings. Now again, the date, and then it goes, this is to inform all the members of staff that Sikkim government has decided to have holidays on every Saturday in addition to Sunday to save petrol and electricity due to a major failure in the northern grid with effect from, this is the date, till this date. In order to compensate the working hours, the company has decided to change the timings from this to this from Monday till Friday. Again, the dates can be specified from which date to which date are those timings being changed. Okay. The previous timings of this time to that time remain cancelled till further notice or further order. However, in case of an emergency, a skeleton staff can take prior permission to come to office on Saturday, but the timings should not exceed whatever the time limit is set. This information is valid for a period of as many days only. That, of course, you've also already told that and this change is to come into effect from this date and till this date. Now let's look at application writing. An application letter is the letter you write when you ask for something, request permission, or apply for something. Typically, the letter is 1 page long. It can be written for personal or business needs. Sometimes it will come with other documents, such as letters of application. Application letters then are more than just cover letters. They can also be letters of inquiry or request. So one is 3 types: job application, academic application letter, and a personal application. So let's say you have to write to an application to the principal. Now, receiver's address, the person that you're addressing it to, the principal, and then the school address, the date, and the subject in this. I hope you remember, in informal letters, we do not write the subject, but informal letters, always the subject's always there. In this also, the subject is there. And then the greeting, the main body of the content, and the closing line, and then the name of the sender with the details. So whenever you're writing an application, that your application, it must be as it goes with all formal letters, it has to be easy to read. The dates are accurate. Just have to be careful. Be sure to read the prompt over and over to make sure that you're writing the correct name and the address. And please do not write your own name in the letters, because you can be disqualified then. Okay, so let's look at this application for medical leave. The principal, Kendriya Vidyalaya, Gangtok, Sikkim. July, the subject, application for medical leave. Dear Sir/Madam, I am Garima Agrawal, a student of class 12 of your school. I've been diagnosed with chickenpox and I've been advised complete rest by my doctor, for 10 days. I would request you to, kindly grant me leave for the mentioned number of days, starting July 4 to July 14. And then the year, the medical certificate issued by the doctor is attached. Thanking you, yours obediently, Garima Agrawal, class 10. This very simple. Now look at this prompt. You are Ranbir, studying in class 10A in Vaish Higher Secondary School, Jaipur. Now see, your name and your address is given here. Write an application to your principal requesting her to grant permission to your class to go on a picnic. So now you write, the principal, Vaish Higher Secondary School, Jaipur, Rajasthan. Respected ma'am, with due respect, I beg to say that the students of my class plan to go on a picnic to the nearby historical sites. We shall return home before sunset. I assure you that no problem of discipline shall arise. Kindly grant us permission for the same. Thanking you, yours obediently, Ranbir, because you will write Ranbir here because the name is already mentioned in the prompt. Now, there are some of these prompts that are given in the terminal exercise. Write a letter to Messrs. Jain, publisher, Paharganj, New Delhi, complaining about the parcel of books which you have received in a damaged state. Write a circular letter announcing the marketing of a new variety of soap. Write a letter to the postmaster for change of address. Write a letter to the editor of a newspaper about the bad condition of water supply in your locality. Write an application for the post of teacher in a senior secondary school. Write a letter to Messrs. Rama Publishing House, Karol Bagh, telling them that the book you ordered has been delivered, but 16 pages are missing in it. This is interesting. Request them to replace the book. Sign your name as Ravish of 131 PK Marg, Nagaland. This is the kind of prompt that you would get. So this brings us to an end to this lesson, and we will meet up day after. And have a very pleasant evening, all of you.